Welcome to Ephemera Files by Tommy, and this is day one of the 5 Days of Easter collaboration with Kara Brandon Creations and Dear Julie Julie. You can find both of them on YouTube and on Facebook, and I will have their information linked below. So today, I kind of got ahead of myself before I turned on the camera. I did go ahead and cut apart all the other kits, and I have them sorted into their separate days and put into this box. However, I do have the extras, the Easter folio kit, the tag and journal page kit, and things like that are on top so that I can get to them easily. Plus, I went ahead and on some of the pages that were extra, I started putting together a little journalette, I guess, because it's small, very small. My plans will include this, but it is not the main focus of what I am doing. I do have something in mind that I'm going to be using these pieces for. And I did get a head start because I forgot about recording. It's been a day and I am getting ready to get on a plane, so I'm getting this done quick. I went ahead and cut out this envelope, and I use my punch board for making envelopes from We Are Memory Keepers. And this one is a 4.5 by 4.5 envelope. It started out, I think it was a 7.5. Let's see. If my envelope size 4.5 by 4.5, it was 7.25 by 7.25. And I have two of my grandkids spent the night with me last night, and they're not awake yet, so they may come wandering in at some point. We'll just see what happens. All right, now my plans for today for these pieces. After I cut the piece for the envelope, I had these two parts left over. These are the bits and pieces that I've already cut apart, and here, this is on a little bit heavier cardstock, and so I think I'm going to be working on this, and I have a plan for these. I have a 3-inch scallop punch that just almost perfectly fits around these two. Just like that. Oh, my hands are shaky. It's very early to be doing this, and I'm in a hurry. There we go. And so there's that one, and I think that that turns out very nice with the scalloped edge on it. And so I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I will find that later. So I'm just going to set this scrap to the side so I don't lose it. And I'm going to go ahead and cut out this, or punch out this one as well. And there I have these two images. And I am going to glue them, if they'll go, back to back. I have to match them up, but since I use the same punch, it should work just fine. But I'm not going to do that just yet. This is a plan. I'm going to get some ribbon so that I can make a flip on it, a dangle. I am going to go ahead and punch out the hole in this tag, and it does print out at a standard size, so I don't have to get my specialty sized punches out. And then I have two of these, and I can't even see, I think that they are library cards. Those will go there. I'm not going to be able to use all of these pieces in today's entry. That's a lot of pieces to try to put into one entry. Go ahead and punch this one as well. There we go. And I also have these two, which are the same as those, but I'm going to fussy cut out the butterfly and the bow on each of them and put them on top so that I have the extra dimension there. All right, so let's get started. I've got the envelope started here. So I'm going to go ahead and get my glue stick, and I'm going to glue these flaps so that it stays together. All right. And all of my pieces that I am making are going to be combined into one large collection of things. So what you see me make today isn't going to be the completed part for almost any of these things. I'm going to get some of my dyed paper and back these pieces. All right, so I grabbed these two pieces. This one is this one is a wine dyed paper. And you can see it's got a faint purplish gray tint. I don't know if the camera picks that up or not. And this is what I call matzah, my matzah dyed paper. It's coffee dyed, but for some reason all the sheets in this batch turned out looking like matzah bread. And I think both of them are fitting, wine and matzah bread for Passover, which is right at the same time as Easter. I think it fits anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and back these on those papers real quick. See. I'm not sure if I'm going to put these on this paper or if I'm just going to back it like this. And I think maybe that's what I'm going to do, is just back it on each other. But I want to do something else. I'm going to set these aside and let them dry for just a little bit. And I want yes, I think I want to put that there, and I'll use that one there. Okay. So I'll glue these as well. I changed my mind about backing them onto each other. I do that a lot. I change my mind a lot mid-project, midstream, whatever you want to call it. I change horses. That looks really nice on that. I like that. The pinks on Kara's background really pick up the pinks in Julie's tag. I think I got that right. I don't know. I cut the pieces apart. I don't know which part specifically. I mean, some of them I can tell, but I can't specifically tell on all of them which kit they came from. So I'm hoping that I'm getting the two together. All right, we'll set that aside for a minute. I am going to go ahead and find my ribbon. You know what? I think that I will make my ribbon. And I can do that with this. So I want to have, this is 2 inches across, approximately. So I'm going to cut 2 strips of this at about 1 inch. Let's see if it's 2 inches. Yes. So 1 inch and 1 inch. And I will glue these 2 back to back, just like that. My glue paper is over here. Let's make sure I get them both upright. Yep. And let's get them matched up. My fingers are all sticky now. Oh, let's shift it. It shifted just a bit. And I think I know what ink I am going to use. I think that Tim Holtz's Saltwater Taffy, the new one, is going to be the perfect shade for that. First, I want to, it will work for the bottom. I have this little tab punch, and I am going to punch my tail instead of making a, what's it called, a swallowtail. Actually, I'm going to cut that off and try it again because that was crooked. It was very crooked. See if I can do it a little better this time. Got this whole edge here that's unaligned. I must have been just a little off the mark when I was cutting my 1 inches. And I think that's what's throwing me off. We'll see when I get down there. And if this stays in the video, then it worked. And it worked. All right, that's what was throwing it off. Okie doke. So got that part. Let's see, let's get this out of the way. And I have another tab punch. And I'm just going to punch the top with this. So that I've got that rounded top. That worked well. I'm trying to get it straight because it wants to roll. All right, let's go ahead and get this inked before I glue anything on it. I forgot to grab my scrunchies, and so my sleeves are falling down. Ooh, I had that brush very inky. It's a brand new pad, and I didn't think about how intense it would be before I started inking. So this is pink, very pink. So this time, let's knock a little bit of off before I start. That's better. Part of this you're not even going to see, but I don't know which part for sure yet. So I'm not going to guess and miss. All right. So now I am going to glue these two together. And I think I am going to grab just a little bit of lace. I have my scrap jar right over there. And if it's less than 12 inches or right about 12 inches, I'll put it into the scrap jar instead of putting it back on my back on the roll. Which side does it work on better? I think it actually works better on that side because that flower is a little intense. So this one I will cut a swallowtail in, a robin's beak, whatever you call it. I've heard it called so many things that it gets a little confusing for me. And I'm going to line that up right there. And I know that I'm going to be somewhere in here on my two medallions, scallops, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to put just a little bit of glue right there to hold that lace in place. All right, I'm going to go ahead and ink the sides on these because it might be kind of hard to do once I glue it on to that part. All right, so let's get the glue on the back. And I'm going to put one on and then the other. I'm not going to try to do it at the same time because I think that would make me nuts. All right, let's go ahead and get that straight. And I'm going to set this on there to hold it down. I think I want it right here. Just like that. Okay, and now I'm going to glue my fingers again. No, I'm going to glue the other medallion. Being very careful to line up those scallops so that they meet. There we go. All right, I like that. Now I am going to hit these edges just a little bit, just in case it doesn't meet perfectly. You won't be able to tell by the color. Okie doke. Now for our envelope, one of the things I'm going to do is add one of Julie's stamps up here in the corner. And I'm working on the envelope while other things are drying. I have a few things that are drying right now. All right, so we have that. Let's see, and let's set that aside. I'll pull this out, set that aside, scoot these over, and I am going to get my tags cut out, but I am going to cut way around them. Because I want to cut closer to them, but I want to actually kind of tear if I can. But I still want that background to show. Let's see, did I do that right? I think I did, because I want to fold them. Is that it? 3, yes. See, that's pretty good for eyeballing it. I didn't even know where I was going with this until just this moment. All right, do this. And I'm going to get this punch that was already out, and I didn't even realize it. And it's a 3-inch. It'll go up to 2.5 inches, I should say. So it'll go in there, but it'll make a funky, no, it won't go in there. Okay, so I will just have to do it myself. Of course I will. And so I am going to just try to somewhat follow around the tag top. And when you're fussy cutting, they will always tell you to move your paper instead of your scissors. And I try to do that, but I end up moving my scissors almost as much as I move my paper. But it still works for me most of the time. All right, we'll set this over there because I can still use that. I don't have my scrap bowl yet, but I will. All right. Now I am going to repunch that hole, and hopefully they line up. I should have done this way, but I didn't know that this is what I was going to be doing. Well, how do you like that? That's darn near perfect. Now I am going to use the hole reinforcer punch out. And I'm going to glue these around those holes. I love these tweezers. They are in my Amazon favorites list. I don't get anything for it. I tried to be an Amazon affiliate, but I could never figure out how to do it, and so I gave up. But I still have a favorites list. I don't get anything if you go there, and you can look at the stuff and obviously goes elsewhere if you would like to see if maybe you can get it locally. But I have found that's an easy way to just put a list of some of my favorite tools that I use, because Amazon has almost all of them. And you can find out information and decide if you want to look into it further. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a pocket out of that. So I'm going to glue on here, these sides, and all around the top and across there, but I'm going to leave this part open so I can slide something in. And I am flying by the seat of my pants. I have no idea what I am going to make as I start this. I had a few ideas, but those ideas are going by the wayside quickly. I don't know if I'm the only one that does that. Maybe it's just my scatterbrain or my ADHD. I do have ADHD. I'm on medicine, so we'll leave this to dry. I'm going to get my clothespins real quick. Since that is holding a folded piece of paper together, I like to make sure that it stays held together while it dries. Especially at the fold, sometimes it likes to pop apart. All right, so how many things do I have set aside drying now? A lot. Okay, let's go ahead and take care of these. Right, there's that set, and those are on the wine dyed paper. I think that color goes really well with Julie's images. And these are on the matzo paper. I saw somebody, who was it? I think it might have been Vicki again, that she actually put her dyed papers through the laminator with no laminating paper on it, just the heat of the rollers. And it looked like it did a really good job. So I may have to try that out on some of these really, really crinkly ones. And I don't want to iron them because I have discovered that some dyed papers, when you iron them, they turn a different color, and you may not want that color. You may want to experiment, like when I did my tomatillo dyed paper after I made salsa verde, and when I ironed it, it turned more of a yellow color than the green color, which didn't look bad, but if you were expecting green, it could make you really, really unhappy. All right, so I have all of these together. I'm still not real sure what I'm doing with them, but I knew that I wanted to back them on something. And here is this. I'm going to see if I have, yes I do. I knew I cut off just a little bit. I'm going to I probably should thread that through there first. I did not put a hole reinforcer on this one, partly because I'm not going to be hanging it. It's simply going to hold this lace. I don't know if that's a valid reason for not doing it, but that's why I'm not doing it. So now I'm going to cut my bird parts. I don't even know what to call it, because I've heard it called robin's something, a robin's beak, and I've heard it called a swallowtail, and I don't know. It's a V-cut. How about that? It's a V-cut. I'm going to cut my V-cut. And that marries two of the pieces, because this one is from Kara's kit, and these are from Julie's kit. And I remember now, I was going to cut out those butterflies real quick. And those pieces are right here. I'm going to get my little scissors. I'm going to cut out the bow and the butterfly. Okay, the yellow one was a bit of a bugaboo because of the little flowers that were attached, and I had to leave them on there because otherwise it would have looked really weird. Or to cut that rose out because I am going to add it to the front of the envelope with the stamp to give me another piece of Julie's kit mixing with Kara's kit. All right, I'm going to just go around these to make sure that any white edges that I have are no longer white. And I don't really think it matters what color it is as long as it's not white. So I can use the pink that's left over on this blending tool just to hit those white areas, if there are any. Even if I can't see it, I'm going over it just to make sure. In the butterfly bodies and the bows, I am just going to bend up a little bit. They'll get flattened again whenever this is used as a bookmark, but it'll be okay because they'll spring back. All right, so now I just need to match them up and glue them on. All right, so we'll let that dry. That works. Alrighty. Now, these I am going to put into the envelope for now, because I don't know that this really counts as using them together, but I have a plan that will pull it all together. So I'll just put those in there. I need to line that. What can I line that with? I don't really need to line. Oh, that's cute. Okay. So I'm going to cut this off following this curve. And I'll glue that in there. Oh my goodness, that just makes me happy. All right, and then we just need a little bit more over here. You follow that. All right, so let's trim this down where I didn't quite match it up. Okay, that just makes me happy. So I think this is going to be a floating pocket. We'll just punch through that top corner right there with this corner punch. So I have my floating pocket, a stuffed floating pocket. Okay, so what do I have left? I have, from today's kit, I have left, well, a bunch of little scraps that I'm not going to put in there. This and this. Let's see, these 2 library cards that I'll figure something out. This scrap, this scrap, this scrap. Let's see, these 2 scraps that I can still do something with. Those are too small over there. There we go. Oh, and the bookmark, which I can put in here, just like this. Okay, I need to do the edges on this tag. We're almost done with today anyway. Actually need to trim that off. And I do have on this one these bows here, so I may go back and reprint a couple of those so I can do the 3D bows on it as well. Let's see. Need another piece of ribbon. Oh, that pink works really well, I think. I think I'm just going to tie this one in a bow at the top. I'm sorry, with all this mess you really can't see what I'm doing, I don't think. Maybe you can. I like that. And then I have this little pocket side here. Side pocket, I guess I should say. Is it this side? Or is it this side? Now I can't remember which side I left open. It was this one. Yep. Okay. Did I glue it together too much? Did I put too much glue on it? Nope, it's just stiff. There we go. All right, so I need to back that. Let's see, do I have any of Julie's paper left? Or did I use all of her pieces? I think maybe I used all of her pieces. So I'm going to back this on a piece of this. Real quick. All right. I got distracted, and I had to do that before I forgot what I was distracted by. Okay, let's see if that still fits or if I need to tear it down a little bit. That works. There, that's what I wanted. Okay, so sorry, you're seeing me fiddle because, like I said, I'm doing this really without a plan. I'm going to tear that just a little bit closer because I don't want it sticking way, way out of the little pocket there. let's see. I'm going to put this on. Okay, I think I'm done. Let me get all my stuff out of the way here. And go grab one thing. Okay, I hear grandkids. So let's go through this. I've made a stuffed pocket. I will probably do something with the paper clip, maybe change it out for something else. And I think that I will put this on the other side. I think that was what I meant to do, and I just had it placed wrong. Yep. Yes. So what I have made is a stuffed pocket, and I've used pretty much everything in the kit. Here I have a two-sided tag with a slit in the side for a little journaling card. And I have this envelope here, and I have added a stamp and the rose from Julie's kit to Kara's background paper to make the envelope. I made this bookmark with the three-dimensional butterflies and bows, a bit of lace, and that incorporated both kits. And then inside the envelope I have stuffed it with these postcards and such that are from Julie's kit, and I will probably do a little something else because I feel like that's maybe not meeting the challenge by just having them backed on paper. And then I love this. I decided to line the inside of this envelope pocket, and that bunny there just peeking out, he was perfect. He was perfect. All right, so those are all the goodies that I made from day 1 of the challenge. And this is what I have left. I have a stamp from Julie's kit. I have these 2 pieces that I'll probably fussy cut some of those flowers out. And those are from Julie's kit. This little piece here, this piece here, and this piece here are from Kara's page. Let's see, do I have anything else over here? I have little bitty pieces that I don't know. I'll probably incorporate or use in some fashion. Here's another little corner. And that's it. I used everything in the kits except for these pieces. And we'll go over once again what we made, or what I made. What we made if you followed along. Have this envelope. And I will probably, I know that there are some labels in some of the other kits. I'll probably add a label and a few other things. I intend to, as I go along, build on previous things that I've created. So inside the envelope, I have backed these images on wine dyed paper and coffee dyed paper that looks like matzah bread, so that's my matzah. You can find both of those in my Etsy shop. And I stuffed these into the envelope. Have this bookmark with the three-dimensional bows and butterflies. And I slide that in right there, and I let the ribbon hang over just like that. And then on the front I add this two-sided tag with the pocket and the journaling card inside. And that is held on with a paper clip, and I will probably change out that paper clip as well. And that is the day 1 for hashtag 5 Days Easter 2022. Thank you for joining me today, and why don't you go check out the shops, check out the other collaborators, look up that hashtag, and you will find a whole playlist of, I believe there are 20 ladies that are taking part. Check them all out, because we're all going to have different ideas. And one more thing, as always, be kind. Bye.